Welcome to Nearness to God by the Reverend Robert Kane, S.J., brought to you by Pascal Light. When in some far solitude, no distant hum of busy toil or restless pleasure is heard, when not the faintest echo of a voice is whispered by the breeze, when even such vague remembrances of human life as throb with subtle undulations through the country air have spent their last ripple, when all else is still, the soul must hearken to the sound within itself that ceaselessly utters in spiritual thought the truth it sees face to face, alone with nature. As the chatter, bustle, din, and roar of cities pause, then fail, then die away in distance, the silence of time is filled with the words of eternity. The absence of art leaves room for the presence of nature. The willing or unwilling withdrawal from man wins or forces the mind into nearness with God. Or when, in the dark of the night, slumber will not come, and seriousness will not go, when the phantoms of our active hours, the pushing cares and the clashing interests, and the giddy delights have ceased to shout or laugh, have stopped in their whirl or dance, when all our toys are still and silent, staring at us with sightless dull eyes, and smiling at us with lifeless dull lips, when the truths that are from always to always frown upon us with eternal reproach, or beckon to us with eternal warning, we cannot escape into foolishness, for we are held in the grasp of evident reality. In the solitude and in the silence, thought travels freely up and down. It does not need to pass from point to point, but with one glance rests upon the moving clouds, then with one flash sets its face against the mysterious bars of the unending blue above. It leaves the dim horizon far behind, and is already within the infinite recesses of all the possibilities of space. In solitude and in silence, thought searches for truth that it cannot find in the span of dying lives, in the circle of passing goods. It must go further forth to find what was before and what shall come hereafter. When thought looks out above the world, beyond the past, it wanders from fact to truth, from truth to fact, knowing that all are false if there has been no first, that all were not if there be not one who is. Then all the solitude is thronged with facts, and all the silence is eloquent with truths. For the soul sees and hears the first and final word of all. In the beginning was the Word. In the deep rest of such a thought, a great Latin saint, Hilary, said, "What meaneth what is said, in the beginning was the Word? Human measurements of time are laid aside. The ages have been passed by. The centuries have ceased to count. Mark any period that thou wilt as some fixed point from which to start. Make this the uttermost limit of thy thought. Thou hast not caught the faintest echo of the first word that was. He is beyond time. He was of whom we speak. He was before all time. Who is the Word?